Welcome back, my friends and fellow gamers. We're once again returning to Hellion. I'm your grateful host, Wrath, and thank you everybody for being patient with me to do some more videos. So, part of the reason I've been holding off doing additional Hellion videos is because, as you can see, we're in 0.2.9 experimental build. And a lot of what they're doing is just some minor quality of life updates, as well as like under the hood elements, optimizations, basically improving things. But one of the things they were doing was stress testing, so there's actually no online servers that are currently up and available to play on. So the only thing we really have to play with is the single player mode, which is going to be is being fully released here. And of course you have the legit play or the sandbox, where you can build everything. You know, you can use dev commands to spawn in items and equipment and stuff, but we'll go ahead and jump in legit. And we will start here with a new game. So again, this is the sandbox, or not the sandbox, the single player mode. That is the new component with the game. One of the nice things that I'm looking forward to, though, is one of the quality of life updates that they've done is supposedly, I haven't seen any because this is the first time I'm actually logging into it. Ooh, that almost sounds, that looks like that might actually be fun, like just to start somewhere really hideous. But we'll go ahead and spawn here in the normal start. But what I was saying is, one of the things that they have updated now, a quick save and a quick load now, since it's on single player. Go ahead and open that and step out of the cryopod. But one of the things that they have adjusted is the inventory. If you remember the last time, you had an inventory screen that was basically this round wheel. But supposedly, okay, that's not okay, so how do I get that inventory menu? Let's see here. Inventory screen. Well, so it's still inventory, but that's odd. They used to, some of the documentation listed that there was going to be a new inventory screen. Maybe it's not there that the inventory screen is, but rather in a different thing, like maybe it's in the panel interaction. I don't know. Ooh, that's nice to have. That will help us immensely with our little battery operated ship. And so will that. So we'll take both of those because we're going to make use of them pretty quickly. A couple of batteries. We'll leave those there for now. Put on that and put on the helmet. Gotta remember all my controls here. Okay. Oh, that's not a good sign. Well, the gravity's still on. No, it's not. Never mind. Gravity on. Okay. Pressure looks good. So, helmet off. Okay. So, let's start taking a look here. So, this is all still the same. Deploy that. Go ahead and take a look at what we got going on here. Did I miss a second air can here? Usually there's a fire extinguisher in here. Yes, I did. So we'll take that bad boy. So now I have 2 fire extinguishers to start with. That's a good start. I love how a lot of the parts have evolved over time with this system. So let's okay, we have 0 air tank, and we need both of those things. So alright, let's take this and use it here for now. That'll reduce the power draw, but do we have... I could really go for a resource injector if we've got one. Of course we don't. Why would we ever have something useful when we can have a bunch of useless junk? Okay, put that in there. Put that in there. Now that's mostly full. What about this one? I think this one's empty more than likely. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna swap these two. We'll put the mostly full one here. And the empty one over here. So we can always refill this later. Alright, so let's go ahead and start prepping. Now we are going to have to blow ourselves out the side of the ship, as pretty much per the standard at this point. So let's go ahead and... No, see, this is all the same. So maybe they haven't completed that, because the documentation says that they've built a new interface, but I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm just mental. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to run the oxygen systems on here so that we can power up the system. Once we've got it filled with air, we need at least a little bit of an air tank here. So of course we are playing this legit, so I can't just like throw together a station on a whim, which is unfortunate, but I think we're gonna need about 80 air, if I remember correctly, for the airlock. So we're gonna try and prep that. Okay, and then we're gonna shut that down. And now we need to decompress, which let's check this here. Corridor B. So depressurize corridor B and the main room. So this is one of the things I like with this new interface, is that now I can simply manually pull in all of the air. And so as the pressure drops, and I'm gonna save my air for the on the suit by watching the component here, and that might take just a little bit. So let's go ahead and refill this thing up here. Attachment point, hydrogen. Okay, that should be good. It's about halfway. What's our air situation look like? Okay, so we're down to 7% or 70%. Now this is the slower way to do everything, but in the long term of saving resources, I think really this is going to be the best system to work with. And of course, once this gets down to 0.5, we're going to have to mask up and, you know, stay out of trouble. We should see the lights change color here. We might be able to stay as late as 0.4. But I don't want to risk it too much. Okay, let's go ahead and put the mask on, because now we're being risky, and there's no reason for taking that risk. There we go. There's the air is now dangerous to breathe because there's not enough pressure. we're waiting for this door to unlock because the pressure difference has locked down the bulkhead, which I really like this feature where you can override it and blow out the air if you want, but it's not a good idea. But now that we have the ability, like if you were playing two-player on this, you could accomplish this process just by having the other player depressurize that hallway and wait inside while you get the airlock attached. And that would be really cool, because then you could have, you know, one person going about doing the prep work, refining resources and whatnot while you're getting the airlock attached and getting air ready to pump in there, and you wouldn't have to wait. So now this door should open. Here we go. And now we are free and floating. Okay. Come on. And the sort of sluggish feel of the RCS in the suit is back, and I'm a big fan of that, so I'm not complaining. So if anybody thinks I'm complaining, please understand that I like it when the docking port is not so, or when the RCS for the suit is not so herky-jerky, because there's only so much of that I can put up with, and having like twitchy suit controls really messes me up, which is why I'm terrible when it comes to flying in a suit. Okay, and we're good for lineup. Now we're just making the minor little adjustments. And we're going to slide right into this here. And boom. Perfect. Perfect alignment. Go ahead and close that up. Alright, let's go ahead and retrieve our little fun ship here. The good ship Lollipop. Okay, go on to the side here. Gotta remember my controls here. Okay. Depressurize that. Working myself through the systems here. So of course I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can and trying not to be so jacked up about it. Oh shoot, I just forgot. Alright. Open the outer door, but we've got to start the repressurizing on there, because if I don't do that, then I'm not going to be able to recharge my suit, and that's going to be a really big problem. So we need to start getting the repressurization and repair of this airlock in first order of business here. Oh shoot, come on, don't mess up. Don't start freaking out. Don't freak out, don't freak out. Open the outer door. Open the inner door. No pressure. Okay, ooh, nice. An extra warp cell. You can always take one of those. Alright. And an extra battery. I'll take that. Alright, we're back into gravity. We're going to go ahead and shut both those doors. And now we need to get out our repair tool. Okay, it's got 100%. Got a little bit. Let's take that And oh, there's a battery there too. Take that. And we can explore the rest of that later, because now we need to start this system powering back up here. Alright, so main room, corridor B, prep room, but not the airlock room. So that way we can make sure that all of these rooms are up and running. And so now we can see that we got a little bit of repress time here. So, gotta wait. But this gives us plenty of time to... Okay, so we found 2 extra batteries and a very tiny warp cell and okay warp container, as well as 2 of these guys with supplies for us while we're going along here. Alright, so now it's the big wait again. Unfortunately, there's really no way around this part, but this allowed us to save that air that we would have normally, in the older versions of the game, we would have just blown out of the airlock. You know, being able to have depressurized it and gotten everything squared away allowed us to save the air that was in the main room. And so once we've got it so that we can pressurize the whole thing, we will be alright, and it looks like we are in breathable atmosphere, so we can go ahead and take the helmet off. Okay. And now we can see how things are progressing. Now, the air quality is deteriorating because we're not scrubbing the air, but we will be doing that shortly. I just want to get everything squared away first, because we're going to still need 80 for the airlock. I was right about that part, but I didn't count for the 60 or so that I needed for the prep room. So we're probably going to be short on it, and that's okay, but you know, I would prefer a better situation. Alright. So they were supposed to change it. I was really hoping to see that new, oh, we've got debris. I was really hoping to see the new interface, and it appears that they don't have it, and that's unfortunate. So yeah, okay, we did not get enough air from our oxygen system, and so it was a good thing that I didn't fill up the airlock, because we wouldn't have been able to pressurize the main room. Taking hits, I hate that. It makes me grumpy. So we'll wait till this gets to most of the way up. So we need basically better than 81. Okay, that's all we needed, so let's go ahead and pressurize. It doesn't give us a lot of margin there, but I'm not really worried too much about it. Okay, so now the whole thing is pressurized. We can get in and out. I'm gonna drop one of these right now because I don't need it. Put you back in there, and let's go ahead and take you over here, because that system's going to be more valuable to us right now. Did we actually get any ammo with that? No. Oh, we got some pistol ammo. No pistol though. Okay. Outer door. Get to our airlock controls. Close the inner door. Depressurize helmet. we're still in a debris. Oh, nice. I timed it just perfectly. Just to come out right at the tail end of the debris. Now, because this is a single player, I can do things that I would normally not do, like keep my ship in a particular type of orbit that would normally be unsafe with other players around. So we're going to go ahead and turn around, close the outer door, and then start repressurizing. Repressurize. Alright. We're almost at half oxygen at this point, which is less than ideal. Doors open. And we're in. Okay, so not a good start here with the equipment or lack thereof. No charges, no ammo, pretty much nothing in here. So let's go ahead and take control of the ship. And we will figure the rest of this stuff out later. She's damaged. I could have done without that. Alright, let's check the airlock here. Okay, so we got 2 air filters, and we could get this guy in to power that up, power supply, and let's deploy that. We'll take that guy out because we've got that other one. I'm going to use this one first. Double check our detonator, make sure we got one. Oh yeah, we got one. Close that. Alright, so the engine on this is hyper efficient, which is really good because we're going to need it. Okay, we take our helmet off and not waste any more oxygen here. Alright, so point of order. Turn us to face the station. Move us forward. And to the left. No, not that much. Alright, and then let's go into 3 for docking camera. And okay, outpost anchor. Looks like we are moving on target. I like the new indicator up in the top right there because it lets me know exactly what I'm looking at. So I can say, okay, time to dial that back down, dial that way down. Ship's still kind of twerky. And line up, forward. Let's get into position here, a little bit up. There we go. That's a smooth lineup. Change the angle here. And locked on. Alright, so we've got the ship hooked up. Let's go ahead and shut all these doors. We don't need to lock it up because obviously there are no other people. So that's the one thing you can get pretty lax with in the single player mode like this is you don't have to worry about being raided. You'll always be able to survive, but you also will not be able to get any help. Now, one of the cool things of what's supposed to be coming, besides the new interface stuff, which is apparently still work in progress and therefore not quite ready, is that they're also going to be instituting local hosting and IP setups. So you'll be able to, kind of like Minecraft, you'll be able to like host a bunch of your friends on your own game. So that sounds like it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about that because that makes me want to buy a couple of extra copies of this for my kids so that they can play with me. Just because I really enjoy playing games with my kids. I'm a silly nerd like that. I've got, you know, games like Minecraft and stuff specifically so that I can play them with my kids. And for me, it's a guilty pleasure to just play some. I need some light here. To play some of these games with my younger and older kids. To just, you know, see how they react to different things and their thoughts on like the gameplay and everything. Kind of wish I could get a pistol. I'm getting plenty of pistol ammo. Oh, pistol. Speak of the devil. Although I don't really know what the need for a pistol would be other than turrets. But, you know, taking on turrets with a pistol is already a bad idea by a fairly good stretch of the imagination. Now the other advantage that we're going to get for playing in a solo player game like this is that we don't have to worry about not being able to get certain station components because other people have gathered them all up. So that is a definite advantage to our situation right now. And it's not always going to be the best example, but you know, we can work with what we got, and that's not a bad deal. Let's look for any sign of exterior components that we can grab. I love that zoom in feature. I think if you hold the right button when you don't have anything in your hands, you'll just sort of kind of like zoom in like you're staring really hard at something to try and see it better. Which that can really help when you're trying to identify some object in the far distance. Being able to try and like focus your vision on it. It's not like a true zoom where like you actually get like a closer view of the object. It's more like you're sort of getting like tunnel vision, like I'm looking at it and I'm not actually seeing any more detail than I would normally see, except for it's just blown up a little bit. And that's, I like that. It's, to me, it's a really cool feature. Alright, so before we go in, I want to try and repair whatever damage there is to the ship. Now, this ship's got really weird damage modeling. It's about the only complaint I have about this ship is that there's like a damage point on it for repairs. That makes no sense. Fortunately, it looks like the damage point is underneath here, which is the one that does make sense. Okay, yep, there we go. Yeah, see, so it's a damage point here. I'll take that out here, and if I can just get in. Okay. So, repaired, but there's a damage point. You might have seen it in one of my other videos where there's like a damage point on the ship. That's like these little lamps up here are the only, are where the damage shows, and I was just like, what craziness is that? Just because it seemed very ridiculous. Okay, I am going to, because we're going to be using the systems here, we're going to be moving this station out of danger. I feel like this resource injector might be more useful inside the station, so we're going to salvage it from the outside of the station. and that'll cost us more nitro, but in the end, I don't feel that that is a terrible loss. So we're going to go ahead and get in here, and just for short-term ease of use, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and switch off the let's turn off our lights. We're gonna go ahead and just switch out our packs rather than moving, getting this one restored yet. That's a dangerous decision, but I feel that it's a justified one, so I'm not really overly concerned by it. So rather than freaking out, we're gonna just take this pack off. And put that new one on, and then just put this guy right back. Alright, we'll take this guy, because we can throw that in the ship. Same with these guys. Unload all of that. So that should have us good. Alright, let's get out of here. So, a resource injector. Okay, it looks like that's a quick save going on there. Alright, so let's get a move on. Start getting everything squared away. Alright, so inner door closed, depressurize. Helmet on. Now we're running a little long here, but I want to finish the first part, because obviously this first process is seeing how quickly you can get all of this done is sort of a sticking point to your proficiency with the game. If you can get all of this done in 30 minutes, then you're pretty well on track. That's 30 minutes without skipping any of the major steps, like docking the airlock, getting the ship docked, going and searching the derelict. If you can get all those things done and get out with your station in 30 minutes or less, you're no, don't do that. You're doing fairly well in terms of your proficiency. Now, I've got some inefficiencies in how I do things, like the closing I'm rambling. Leaving the depressurizing the main cabin in order to save on the loss of gases. It's not strictly good or bad practice, but it does definitely take up time, and so that's why my time is run a little bit over on that. So let's go ahead and put this guy away. Put that one in there. Okay. Now I've noticed one thing is that they're hinting that they may add some kind of hostile threat for the single player game, or even for single player and multiplayer, and they've just because they've sort of hinted at it. It's not a guarantee, but it's they've made certain statements that kind of lead us all towards the belief that there's going to be some kind of new threat that you'll have to face when playing in the single player game. Okay, so we're in Beth there. Let's go ahead and set a custom orbit. And again, since this is a personal game that nobody can really come and jack with me, I'm just going to set this as a nice little reasonable orbit here. Pretty much circular. And where's my target? Okay, and warp 2. Alright. We'll use that one. Oh, no, that's insufficient fuel. So this one's basically junk. Good to know that you're worthless, you piece of junk. Okay. And you know what? I'm an idiot. Alright. I can do it with this weaker one because this high efficiency engine will actually allow me to do that. I'm just going to make the proper adjustments. Okay. I'll warp to that. Set the higher warp speed and drop our time down. Okay, initialize and turn everything away. Look away, child, look away. That derelict is floating off into the distance here. We gave ourselves plenty of time to do the jump. Alright. So we're lined up, we're ready to go. And it's going to be a short little jump. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that I don't have to hit the button anymore. I'm so used to lining up and then saying, okay, now I gotta wait for the last 5 seconds, then hit the button. And move. And now that we've got that squared away, we can go ahead and sort out everything here. Go ahead and put the fuel here. Okay, so short jump. Let's see where we are. Okay, we're in a good orbit. There's our derelict, and let's scan. So, of course, there's not going to be a lot around these locations, but that was sort of to be expected because of the fact that really there's nobody else spawning in these areas. So, I'll go ahead and I'm going to end the video here, but in our next video we'll go ahead and start taking a look. I'm going to be taking this series a lot slower, so there's going to be gaps in playtime between the episodes, but I'll be going ahead and taking my time a little bit more with this series, and hopefully the release patterns with the developer will be conducive to that. So until next time, I'm Wrath. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I welcome you back to the series. Please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It lets me know how everything's going. Also, I do have a community sort of outreach program that's going on. which is another series with a different game where I'm inviting other individuals to join with me and have a say and have influence in the events of a particular game, which is a modded war game of Kerbal Space Program, and you can see the video for my announcement of it. I released just like a day or so ago, so it should be like right before this video. So again, I hope you are enjoying, and I will catch you on the flip side.